I'm teacher Melinda Hughes, and today I will be taking you through some questions and also provide you with answers. So this segment is called Multiple Choice and You. So boys and girls, what will these multiple choice questions be based on? They will be based on topics that we have discussed in social studies for grade 5. So let's get rolling. I am sure that lots of you boys and girls have in your memory different topics and content matter for those topics that we have covered for grade 5 social studies. So now is the time for your bonus. Let's get going. The question will appear with the options since these are multiple choice, and you will choose your answer. Yes, boys and girls, I want to encourage you to be fair to yourself. Do not swing around and ask anyone for the answer. Pretend as if you are doing an exam. And of course, if you're in an exam room, there is no one who you can ask. You have to think, use the information that you have in your memory, and choose the best answer. So we'll begin. Boys and girls, at the end of this segment, I will give you the answers and you will mark your work fairly. So that will give you a true reflection of what position you're at in relation to the knowledge for your work. So let's begin. Question 1. The second Sunday in November is known as A, B, C, and D. Now, I did not call the answers because I would like you to read and choose the letter that is near to the answer that you desire to have. Next question. Michael told his friends to bring colorful powder for the celebration. Which religion is associated with the holiday Michael is celebrating? A, B, C, or D? There are options there. So the one that suits your choice, you write the letter that is near to the option. Remember, do not ask anyone. Next question. Number 3. Wreaths of poppies are laid at a monument which is known as the. Wreaths of poppies are laid at a monument which is known as the A, B, C, and D. Yes? Choose your answer. Number 4. The first Chinese came to British Guyana from the continent of. The first Chinese came to British Guyana from the continent of. And so you have options there. A, B, C, and D. They all have options. So choose the letter that is near to the option that you think is correct. Question 5. In Guyana, Farine and tasso are mainly used by the. In Guyana, Farine and tasso are mainly used by the. So there are the options again. So I am sure, boys and girls, that you have chosen your answer. Let's keep going. Number 6. One of the ships in which the East Indians came to Guyana was, and there are options A, B, C, and D. I am sure you are excited, boys and girls, because this suits the information you already have in your head. Let's keep going. Number 7. Which of these is a part of the culture of the indigenous people? Which of these is a part of the culture of the indigenous people? So A has an option, B, C, and D. Write your answer. Number 8. Choose the set that is associated with Chinese. Choose the set that is associated with Chinese. So, A, B, C, and D. There are options there. And so, you choose the letter that is near to the answer you think is correct. The next question, number 9. In which of the following countries was the Treaty of Chaguaramas signed? In which of the following countries was the Treaty of Chaguaramas signed? So there are options again. A, B, C, and D. Choose your answer. Number 10. Question 10 refers to the flag below. Study it and then answer the question. So, as you can see on the screen, there is a flag, and I want you to take a few moments and detail it with your eyes. So here's the question. The flag above came into effect on, and so there are options at A, B, C, and D. Make your choice. Number 11. Words like please, thank you, and excuse me show. Words like please, thank you, and excuse me show. And there are the options. A, B, C, and D. Choose your answer. And remember, please be honest with yourself. Do not ask anyone for help. This is between you and yourself. Let's keep going. Number 12. Rules are necessary in schools because they help with the following except. Rules are necessary in schools because they help with all of the following except. So A, B, C, and D. I'm sure you have chosen that answer that suits your intelligence. Next, we move to number 13. The caption below was seen along the roadways. Use it to answer question 13. So you're looking at that caption. What does it say? Please do not litter. Yes, boys and girls. So the question is, if persons obey the notice, then the area will most likely, you have options at A, B, C, and D. Okay, boys and girls, next we have questions 14 and 15. However, questions 14 and 15 refer to the illustration below. Study it carefully, then answer the questions. So there we have an illustration. I want you to pay attention. You study it for a few moments, and then I will ask the questions. So question 14. This warning was most likely used during the period A, B, C, and D. Choose your answer. So question 15 relates to the illustration. So let's have it. Question 15. During the period stated above, the residents most likely experienced 1. Destruction of farmlands, 2. Closure of businesses, and 3. Regular water supplies. So your options are A, B, C, and D. Make your choice. Remember, question 15 is related to the illustration. So, boys and girls, this has brought us to the end of this segment of multiple choice questions on topics that you have covered in Social Studies for Grade 5. Now is the time to treat yourself. I will give you the answers as you mark your paper, or if you did it in a book, you mark yourself and you will give yourself that score out of 15, all correct answers. So let's go back. Number 1. And let me caution you, boys and girls, please do not change your answer. Leave what you have there so that you will know what is your position, and if there is need for you to do a little more revision or to read some more. Let's go on. The second Sunday in November is known as A. Labor Day, B. Freedom Day, C. Remembrance Day, or D. Election Day. I am sure you are all excited because the answer here is C. Remembrance Day. And I am sure, boys and girls, that you remember that and you have C on your paper or in your book. So C is correct. If you didn't put C, then you need to pay attention to the notes that you have or the information that you were given before. Do some revision. Number 2. Michael told his friends to bring colorful powder for the celebration. Which religion is associated with the holiday Michael is celebrating? A. Islam, B. Hinduism, C. Christianity, and D. Buddhism. So, boys and girls, the answer is B. Hinduism. Yes, boys and girls, Hindus celebrate a particular festival where colorful powder is sprinkled on each other. Can you remember which festival that is? Oh yes, it's the festival of Phagua. Let's continue. Number 3. Wreaths of poppies are laid at a monument which is known as the A. 1763 monument, B. Chatamargo, C. Cenotaph, and D. Liberation. So what's your answer? If I can hear you, maybe, but I'll just imagine you're shouting C. Cenotaph. Yes, boys and girls, wreaths of poppies are laid at the cenotaph every year in November on the second Sunday, as the world over and even Guyanese remember soldiers who fought and died in the World Wars I and II. Number 4. The first Chinese came to British Guyana from the continent of A. Africa, B. America, C. Asia, and D. Australia. There again, I can imagine you saying C. Asia. Yes, boys and girls, the Chinese came to British Guyana from the continent of Asia. And may I ask, which ethnic group brought the Chinese to British Guyana? It was the Europeans. The Europeans brought the Chinese here to British Guyana, and they came for a particular purpose. If you can remember, you can say it with me. They came here to work on the sugar plantations after slavery was abolished under a system called indentureship. Number 5. In Guyana, farine and tasso are mainly used by the A. Africans, B. Amerindians, C. Chinese, and D. Australians. So, boys and girls, I am sure that you are familiar with farine and tasso and the group that it is associated with. Of course, the answer is B. The Amerindians. The Amerindians introduced farine and tasso into the Guyanese society as a part of their food. Number 6. One of the ships in which the East Indians came to Guyana was Bailey, Macoria, Hesperus, and Dartmouth. So, boys and girls, I am sure you're laughing because you know that the East Indians came on the Hesperus. Yes, that's one of the ships that the East Indians came to Guyana in. So, they sailed across, or they were brought by the Europeans, and they sailed across the Indian Ocean, then across the Atlantic Ocean before they entered Guyana. And so one of those ships was the Hesperus. The other one that is popular is the Whitby. Let's continue. Number 7. Which of these is a part of the culture of the indigenous people? A. Katak, B. Comfort, C. Mari, and D. Rock. So yes, I am sure that you would have chosen C as your answer, Mari. For you see, the Amerindians have several dances that they do, and Mari is one of them. The Katak is done by the East Indians. Comfort is one that is done by the Africans. And rock, of course, came from the Europeans, or sometimes we say Portuguese. Rock is not a dance, but rock is music. So, boys and girls, let's have fun as we continue. Number 8. Choose the set that is associated with Chinese? A. Rajas and suits. B. Chains and wraps. C. Tunics and sarongs. And D. Saris and bangles. The answer is at C. Tunics and sarongs. Those are pieces of clothing that the Chinese would have introduced to the Guyanese society. Next, let's look at number 9. In which of the following countries was the Treaty of Chaguaramas signed? A. Trinidad. B. Guyana. C. Jamaica. And D. Barbados. Boys and girls, if you can remember, the Treaty of Chaguaramas was signed in Trinidad. A. It was signed by leaders of the 4 countries that are listed in the answers: Trinidad, Guyana, Jamaica, and Barbados. And that treaty brought into existence CARICOM. So the next question, which I think I've already given you a portion of the answer, I'm giving you something to think. The flag above came into effect on A. May 26, 1966, B. July 4, 1973, C. May 5, 1970, and D. July 4, 1970. Yes, boys and girls, the flag that is on the screen refers to or is related to CARICOM. That's the CARICOM flag. And when was CARICOM established? On July 4, 1973. So if you have B, ta-da, as we would say, you have that correct. Number 11. Words like please, thank you, and excuse me show A. Loyalty, B. Attitude, C. Honesty, and D. Politeness. The answer is D. Politeness. Number 12. Rules are necessary in schools because they help with all of the following except A. Prevent disorder, B. Maintain indiscipline, C. Reduce chaos and confusion, and D. Create healthy relationships. Now that question leads you into thinking and reasoning with all the information that is presented, which is correct except one. So that is why the question is, rules are necessary in schools because they help with all of the following except. So boys and girls, the word except in that question is a key word or is the key word that gives you a clue as to how you choose your answer. Why? Because the question states rules are necessary in schools because they help with all of the following except. So all the answers except one is incorrect. So what's the answer? B. Maintain indiscipline. Rules are not kept in schools, nor in your home, nor in any organization to maintain indiscipline. That just isn't the function of rules. So rules are necessary, 1, to prevent disorder, to reduce chaos and confusion, and to create healthy relationships. So the other one there is maintain indiscipline. Next, the caption gives information. Please do not litter. And so with that caption, having been placed along roadways, question reads, if persons obey the notice, then the area will most likely A. Attract mosquitoes, B. Be free from pollution, C. Become overcrowded, and D. Become popular for littering. And so this is a caption that relates to how we treat the environment. Yes, the environment needs to be treated kindly. So boys and girls, the answer there is B. Be free from pollution. Yes, boys and girls, Littering is one of the contributory factors to pollution. What type of pollution? Water pollution and even land pollution. So it is important that we discard of our garbage in a friendly way, in an environmentally friendly way. So boys and girls, litter or waste should be placed in the correct place, that is, in a receptacle where garbage should be collected. Next, number 14 and 15. Of course, number 14 and 15 refer to the illustration. And so the illustration says, warning, hurricane. And there's a symbol in the middle of the illustration showing or indicating the rate or the formation of wind. So boys and girls, that warning was most likely issued during the period when hurricane is in season, as we would say, the hurricane season. So when is that? A, March to August. B, May to October. C, July to September. Or D, June to November. I'm sure, boys and girls, you remember this one, that from July to September, the Caribbean is on a hurricane watch. Yes, boys and girls, that's the period when hurricanes are experienced in the Caribbean. And number 15, during the period stated above, which is the period of the hurricanes, July to September, the residents most likely experienced 1, destruction of farmlands, 2, closure of businesses, and 3, regular water supplies. So let's see what's the answer here. 1 only, destruction of farmlands. B, 1 and 2 only, destruction of farmlands and closure of businesses. C, 1, 2, and 3, destruction of farmlands, closure of businesses, and regular water supplies. Or D, 3 only, regular water supplies. Of course, boys and girls, during the hurricane season, destruction of farmlands and closure of businesses are some of the experiences that persons have. So the answer there is B, 1 and 2 only. Score yourself now. Check to see how many you got correct out of 15. And so, boys and girls, as you check, I am sure some of you would have scored 15 out of 15. And so you're throwing your hands up and you're tramping around and you're happy because you have all correct. For those boys and girls who may have gotten 1 or 2 incorrect, yes, give yourself a tap on the shoulder. You did well. You have remembered most of the information. And even if you did not score 14 or 13, but you scored 12 or 11 out of 15, you are still doing well. It simply means that you have gotten the majority of information into your memory. All you need to do, as we would say, is brush up a little, read up some more, pay attention to the notes, and you will get it right. For those boys and girls who weren't able to score 10 or maybe 9, or you got less than that, I want to encourage you to let someone work along with you so that you can get it right. And next time when we come around and we have another question and answer segment, you will score much better than you did. Boys and girls, keep on reading. Boys and girls, keep on reading, and I am sure you will enjoy the benefits of reading your work. Until next time, I'll see you. Do have fun.